guys. I am here at Fairfield. I had to be careful to say that right. Lake State Park. That's Fairfield Lake State Park. Now I'm going to tell you this right now. It's just a little bit on the confusing side when you first enter. Because the trail starts before the ranger station. And the way I looked at the map, well, I thought we came in from the side that we didn't. Anyway, but we figured it all out anyway. So here it looks like they've got all kinds of cool things. They've got a trail which is gated up right now, goes out to primitive camping, and it's also hiking, biking, and equestrian. And then they've also, it's got a very huge lake, and the lake offers fishing, boating. You can rent kayak, and there's also designated spots for swimming. Looks like there's plenty of bathrooms. The majority of them are flushing bathrooms, but as they put it, there is one chemical bathroom, which is the old-fashioned pipe, and it's in the close to the primitive area. They've got shelters you can rent. Look like there's a whole lot of different sections for with the shelters. Has showers, affords showers, and yeah, it looks like it's one of those. It even read that there's a volleyball court. I've not read about a volleyball court in any one of the parks yet, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, but the way it stands, as hubby pointed out to me, the way it goes, it's like the majority of the park is a lake, so they had to do what they could with the property, and thus therefore the trail is literally outside of the park. You have to go across the entry line to get to the trail, which is odd because it says on the sign, "Y'all come back." That's how they all say here in Texas. They've got the sign that reads, "Y'all come back." Well, a lot of them I want to come back to because there's more trails for me to show off. So anyway, this trail pretty well follows the park boundary. So it does eventually lead into a peninsula. It shows off the lake. So we'll get a good look at the lake when we get to it. It looks like not very many people hikes this, at least at the first start of it, because it was pretty grassy. I don't think people realizes that the trail is before the ranger station instead of out past the ranger station inside the park. But okay. So anyway, let me go on ahead and show you around. So basically we've still got a lot of the dead trees here, but well, they're not dead, you know, they're just dormant, but we're starting to get greenery. Like here's one that's got some baby leaves on it. And yep, we're starting to get some colors and greens, and it's just so pleasant. Got the battery replaced on my video phone, so I am so tickled about that. I don't think I'll have to switch out phones today. Awesome. I always love it when I don't have to fiddle around too much with my backpack other than to take a break and take a drink. I really don't like having to switch out phones. I really don't. I appreciate my phone, I do, and it does great for viewing, videoing, but I hate how that it's got that 1 or 2 second delay before it starts recording. That really makes it difficult, because I've had to take out some clips before just because it didn't record my first couple words, and I don't like that. So I am so very glad to have gotten this phone took care of. I took it to a battery and bulb place instead of taking it to the Apple store. And the good news is, if you have the battery and bulb place replace the battery, it doesn't change the warranty, which is great. It doesn't break the warranty. At first they couldn't get the phone to start booting back up, so they had to go through different batteries until they got it to. And then they finally got to boot back up, but they noticed that because there's little ribbons connecting the screen, and there was a little tear in one of the ribbons, so they replaced the screen for me for free. No cost to me. So this phone has got a brand new screen, which is so great. It's kind of jammed up a little bit right there. If there would be a rain, it wouldn't flow through very well. It's kind of blocked up there. Anyway, so yeah, and this is what really makes me glad that I went to battery and bulb over Apple. If I would have went to Apple, they would had charged about $100 to replace the battery. And seeing that they couldn't get it to boot up right away, that is saying that the one battery wouldn't have worked, they would have haggled me into trying to buy a new phone, and they would have charged to replace the screen. So what would have costed close to about $200 or so at Apple only costed me $54 and change. And this is the really cool thing. Originally it would have been $69, and because I had made an appointment, which they accepted me as soon as I came in, but because I called and they set up a schedule online for me, I got $10 off. So, woohoo! My phone is like brand spanking new, folks. And the even greater thing, this is the even greater thing. The day I had the battery replaced was the day I also made the very last payment on this phone. So it is now officially mine, and I can now officially unlock it if I wish. And it's around 2 years old, but because it's got a brand new battery, brand new screen, it's just the same as me getting a brand new phone for free, only like for $55. So here's to this phone giving me 2 more excellent, great years of filming. I couldn't be any happier. A great deal indeed. And on top of that, it didn't really cost me any gas because the Battery and Bob's place is right there in town. Whereas I would have had to go plumb out to Austin to get to one of the Apple stores. So yeah. The only thing that it costed me was a little bit of my time because it took time for them to find the right battery and then to replace the screen. But hey, ain't no barks about that. All I had to do was just kind of walk around the parking lot. There's a Mardale's Bible bookstore that I ran into, found me a book for $15 discount. And so far it's a great read. And there's restaurants and other cool things. I found out that we have got a paint your pottery place. So cool. The ceramics, the blank ceramics that I was wanting, were out there in this place, and you can sit there and paint them inside their store. Cool. I just discovered that. I didn't even know we had one. So that's neat. Amazing what you can see when you walk instead of drive. So got that done Friday. Got it all took care of Friday. So, well, I tell you, the battery is so good. Like they told me not to charge it until it's down to 10%. So I left it unplugged. Started out at 56% because all batteries are only half charged. And last night it was down to just 39%. I thought, well, I need it to be 100% when I go filming tomorrow. So I ran on and plugged her in. And that was me leaving it unplugged from the moment it got the battery until late last night. From 56 down to just 39. That's a good battery. And it's guaranteed for a year, unless of course I drop the phone in water. Then it cancels the warranty on the battery. So they said, "Do you ever drop this phone in water?" I said, "No." I said, "I take good care of my phones." I said, "And I just paid that one off today. I guarantee I'm going to take care of it." As you can see, it's your basic forest. Got your greenery and your dead and all that. But so far the trail isn't drastic. As all trails, it's a little uneven, but there's no difficult hike involved. Okay, it looks like I have to cross the road here. So let me look at the map. I'll be with you in a moment. Okay, wanted to show you the creek. It's a little low, it's not really flowing right now. According to the map, it's got us walking on the road for a little ways. Yep, following the map.
Where are you headed to?
Just on the trail, getting back to the trail.
Are you parked down there, or?
Back there at the ranger station.
It's a long way.
Yeah, but that's all part of my exercise.
All right, well, keep your eyes peeled. There's some bald eagles back there.
All right. Now that's the first park ranger I've ever seen stop and actually ask if I'm all right and let them where I'm heading and everything. That's all right. Now I'm just following the map. So what am I doing? Just following the map. And he said it's a long way up here to the trail again. This right here is a cattle ranch. So we will follow the road for a little ways, and then it'll get us right back to the trail. So, really, it's kind of nuts how some of these parks are. It is. It's nuts because like the maps aren't always the same as the trail markings, but what can you do, right? You trust in a map to get you where you need to go, right? And you follow that map. And if it misleads you, then what? Right? Anyway, I'll get back with you as soon as I get off of this road. Okay. I'm coming upon this situation here where I see bits and pieces of the trail, but then it comes right back out onto the road. And the trail is like, it's really not been used anymore, almost like it's been no longer for use or something, I don't know. But according to the map, it goes all along the fence line there, the boundary line. But yet, there's no markings, no markers, nothing. I have come a long way now, following the map, and I have not seen any area to enter back onto the red trail. Nowhere. And it's really disturbing. If the trail is no longer to be used, why are they still printing out these maps and distributing them? It's really, really bothersome. Like I said, we use a map, we depend on them to get where we're going. We read them trusting they're accurate, and we follow them. So this is very disturbing, and hopefully there will be a point where I can enter back onto the trail itself and it continues. I'll get back with you. Okay, I have finally found the re-entry of the trail that should have been way back there around the area where that creek was that I showed you. Seriously, I've easily walked 1.5 miles to 2 miles on the road. Now that's just wrong. The map I don't know. The maps always say, well, not all of them. One in particular really read, the trail markings may not be accurate. But this is ridiculous. I shouldn't have had to walk that long on the road. And like I said, I saw bits and pieces of the trail, but they were not for any distances. They were grown through with trees and marked off by fences stuff, and it's crazy, man. So anyway, I'm back on the red trail. I'm going to give this park a 3 for its map system. I'm taking off 2 stars for its map system, but 3, giving it 3 stars for the fact it does seem to be maintained as far as that goes, like, keeping trash up, and the fact that there's a lot of recreational things that you can do. So I'll give it a 3 for that, but minus 2 stars for the mapping. That's just pathetic. So anyway, when I come across something that is of true interest, I will get right back with you. Okay, so as it is, now they've got little ribbons to mark the corners that's right at the road where you turn back into the trail, because it makes a point. And so far I've only seen 2 reflective markers on a tree. One looked like at one point it was red. The other didn't have any color at all. There's a 0.5 interest, but the way that the trail is, see on the map it looks like you would have gone right back onto the trail right after that creek that I showed off. And then you would have followed the trail further in and there'd been a 0.5 of interest. But the way the trail went in reality, where you had to walk the road because there was no entry back onto the trail, you end up missing the 0.5 interest. So hopefully I'll be able to at least show 1 or 2. Hopefully. It bothers me. It really does. It bothers me because this makes like the 3rd or 4th park that I've gone to, and I've been handed a map, or at least rent by a map board where they've got your board up showing where you are and the different trails, and it not be marked well on the trail or on the map. That's really bothering me. If they no longer want that section of the trail to be used, why are they still printing the map with the trail marked the way it's marked? And they're printing them out and distributing them so people could take their hikes, but they're wrong. And maybe it would take a little extra money to resurvey and remap map it. Maybe it would. But at least people wouldn't be misled anymore. So, it's definitely correct now. But that one section there, that's just, that was unnecessary for me to have to walk like that to get to this. Very unnecessary. So, anyway, as soon as I come across the POI, I'll get back with you. I was just talking, and I had never once hit the record. Dang! I remove the video app after each clip to reserve battery. And I do that even on my phone. So, you know, I don't like anything open, no files or anything. I like closing things out. Anyway, I had just had to cross a little creek on the trail. Nobody had even talked about nowhere in the comments did anybody say there was a trail or a creek. I'm trying not to complain one bit, because anytime you go to any park, you never know what you'll come across. Never. You don't know if the trails will be marked incorrectly, or if you'll have to jump a creek or see wildlife or what. You never know. So I'm really trying not to complain, because despite of me having to walk on the road like that to get back to this trail, it's still pretty through here, because you are seeing nature, and that always makes it worth it, no matter what obstacle you may come across. Makes it worth it. Somebody's property over there, they've got a deer feed, attract deer so they can hunt later. Anyway, so, but the good news is the creek was shallow, and there was a couple rocks that I could tiptoe on to get across. So, anyway, alrighty then. I'll be right back with you if there's anything to show you. This is, there's a bit of it there too. Odd bit of bark. Came off of a tree. That's really weird. Almost like it was hewn that way or something. Here's part of a fallen log. Had been buzzed a long time ago. It's just about turned to earth. Just about. That's really weird. That's odd. Right now I'm apparently in a pine forest. There's lots of pine needles on this ground, as you can see. And it's really soft to walk on. It's amazing. It's almost like you're walking on air. The pine needles everywhere. We've got some pretty tall pines. They're really tall. There's pine cones everywhere. hear some more of that odd bark. A little bit. That's kind of odd looking in there. These are like hanging. Look at that. They're drooping. That's odd. It almost makes it look like the Spanish moss that hangs on the trees in Louisiana. Only it's not. That's neat. But yeah, the pine needles are really nice to walk on. It's almost like walking on sand, how the sand gives, only you're not getting sand in your boots or shoes. And I'm not getting pine needles either, but just really fun to walk on. Very, very cushiony. There's a lot of dead through here. A lot of dead. Hard to tell about this. Alright. I'll get back with yous at a later point. I'm hearing some loud. You hear that? It came out a lot meaner and louder than that though at one point. I had stopped to get me a good drink of water when I first heard the sound. Might be coming across some cows. Kind of sounds sick, don't it? Or like it's in distress. I don't know if we'll see it or not. I hear something up there. Let's walk a little further up here and see what we can see. Okay, we're at that, but we've got that, and that's a big tree, dead tree. Here's all of its limbs. Let's walk a little further out here, and then I'll look at the map and hopefully it'll tell me where I'm at. Doesn't seem to go any further up here. Oh, now we've got other sounds. I wonder if that was a cow giving birth. And what we just heard was a baby cow yelling. A calf. You hear that? We're kind of coming close to it. Look here, there's an old power box. Weird. Curiosity's got the better of me, folks. I know I should be following the trail, but this has kind of got me curious. And as long as I can still walk this, if I see anything, I'll let you in on it. Yes, we're upon a herd of cows. And there they go running. There's a familiar sound to them. Sorry. I was trying to watch too. Anyway, there they all go. They heard the sound. A familiar sound that they all know. And that's where they're all going. So needless to say, I didn't really find out what all the yelling was about. It really sounds mad up there, don't it? Really sounds mad up there. But you see all that? Hooves. So guess what? There'd been cows on that trail. And what's even stranger is we've got the gate open out here to the farm. That's really weird. Alright, let's get back to the trail. I'll see you there. It does look a little different through here than what I've been seeing. Here's a single triple tree. I think it's neat how they do that. They just go off on their own merry way even though they still share the same root. And basically the same base trunk. So interesting. But yeah, this is a different scenery here. There's these spigots all in this field. Water spigots all in here. Water spigots. But they've got them fenced around. So, the one thing hubby said was a lot of times there's these big ranches, farms, and they can't afford to keep a lot of the property up. So, like, they'll donate some of the property or all of the property to the state to be turned into some kind of a park. And so it's possible this was an extremely large land. They couldn't keep up with all of it. And so they went on ahead and okay. It shows over there that that's the red trail there. That's gated off. So that would be, we just keep going on. Anyway, like, it's possible they just went on ahead and donated some of this for it to be turned into a park, and thus therefore the confusing areas, the mark-offs, the gates and all that. That would make sense. They do allow horseback riding through here as well as biking. I've come across some horse hooves and some tire tracks. So apparently also they've been driven a mower through here or something with tractor tracks. According to the map, the red trail is a 5.3. And I reckon that's as long as you get to travel all of it. There's supposed to be some branch offs that goes deeper in so that you get a good view of the lake. And that's where I'm heading to find the one trail that goes up in so we can get a good look at that lake. See how big it is. I reckon it's pretty big, what it looks like on the map. So anyway, I'll get right back with you. Alright, so here I can get you a little bit of view of the lake. It was taking too long on the red trail for me to get to the point where I could see the lake really well. So I had to turn around and come back to the bird watching trail. So I'm going to take you on out that way and see if we can see any birds. Here we've got a little bit of a bird house with no roof. Up here is a bench, but there's something bad wrong with that bench. Ain't nobody gonna be sitting on that. So let's go on out this way. Oh no, it's almost like people don't hike these trails. Maybe they hike the ones that's further up north toward the inland of the lake. It could be. And then these lower trails just aren't worked on. As I was walking back down to get to this trail, I had to get back onto the road. And I saw a little bit more. Now see, here's another bench, but the way they've got the bench, it's too elevated. That dig up into the legs. You wouldn't be able to sit down comfortably. Anyway, I saw a bit of the red trail that followed along the road, but eventually it just completely disappeared. So what I'm thinking is that at one time the red trail was a complete thorough red trail, like it's marked on the map. And then for some odd reason, they cut it off in different spots so that you couldn't walk it entirely. That's what I'm thinking. And so therefore it's more like a was, barely is, whatever trail. That's what I'm thinking. But yet they do keep it at least somewhat manageable, so to speak, but it looks like they haven't really put too much into it. Look at these gorgeous plants. Oh my gosh, look at that, they're big. Be careful, the leaves are thorny. Look at that, they're huge. These are huge. Oh my goodness, I've never seen anything like them. Is this what's called thistle? If any of you know what that is, please let me know. I have never seen this kind of plant before. They are just big. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Here's a good spot to fish. Nice and open. Doesn't look like you'd catch up on much of anything either. So here we get a better view of the lake. A decent sized lake. Very decent. Very decent. Not very broad, but it appears to be somewhat long. I always like the sound of water slapping up against the shore. It is so interesting. It's relaxing. Now I can't get over these huge plants. There's another one over there. I mean, these are big. And there's just a few of them here. There's not a lot of them. They grow in bunches. That's just very interesting. Wow. So, yeah, the red trail, what I would recommend if you would want to come to this park. Here's another one of those. Like I said, though, the leaves are very thorny. If you would want to come to this park, Fairfield Lake State Park in Fairfield, Texas, then I would suggest, there's more along that way, those plants. I would suggest that rather than start on the red trail that is before the ranger station, just go on up, park at the birdwatch trail, and then hike. It's about maybe 2 to 3/10 up on the road, and then you'll get on the red trail, and it continues on out like that. That's what I would suggest, because if you take the trail from the beginning where it says on the map, you will come to the road like it says, but you won't walk a short distance on the road. It just, you walk and you walk and you walk before you come upon a new entry of the red trail. So yeah, that's my suggestion. Just go on ahead, drive on up to the bird watching area, and walk the road about 2-3 on up and get on the red trail. That way it saves you a lot of hiking on the road. Other than that, with all the recreational things that's going on in this park, fishing and boating, and RVing, camping, a volleyball court, there's even a playground it showed. There's lots of shower facilities, bathroom facilities. Well, not a lot of showers, but there's showers available. They've got the shelters you can rent and all that. Even tent camping. Yeah. Other than the mismarking of the red trail, this park is nice. As like a lot of state parks, they try not to disturb nature too awful much. They do what's necessary more or less to keep the trails open so you can walk them, but other than that, they don't really disturb anything. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I've been to worse places than this. Like I said, I'm going to give it a 3-star on the all trail and explain the trail a little bit. But yeah, Fairfield Lake State Park in Fairfield, Texas. I love you guys. I greatly appreciate you. You all are awesome, whether you support me just by viewing me, subscribing to me, or even if you're financially helping. I appreciate you all and love you so very greatly. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I would like to thank all my supporters on Patreon and BitChute. The funds are greatly appreciated. And they go towards supporting the great walks where I show off parks and attractions. If you would like to be a supporter also, then you can do so through Patreon. The links are left below the videos in the description box. Or if you would like to on BitChute, you can do so by subscribing to me on BitChute and go through PayPal. And I thank you in advance.